Today I'm really excited because we're going to be doing a prescribed burn or prescribed fire for our longleaf patch. And as you can see out here, we've got some land that was clear cut 3 or 4 years ago, and we came in and planted some longleaf seedlings, longleaf pine seedlings. And this is an example of one that was planted that's in the what they call the grass stage, and it just has that little head of longleaf pine needles here. And what happens is the fire will come in and it will burn out everything around it. And these longleaf pine needles are especially adapted to fire, so they protect what's known as, you can't even really see it, but there's a what's called a candle or a bud in the center of the plant of the tree, and and these needles will grow up and protect it, so when the fire burns around it, they won't burn through the green needles, and that protects it from fire. And then when the fire's over, all of this vegetation is cleared out, and the tree has a lot more sunshine and a lot more nutrients, and then it will grow up. And I think they call it the rocket stage. Here's an example of one that's a little bit bigger here. So this one is also 2 or 3 years old, but it has grown up and it's a little bit taller, so it'll be safe. But you can see a good example there of the candle, or the little white bud at the top. And so these needles all protect that from the flames of the fire coming up, and so it's the only tree left standing once the fire is over. So this will all be cleared out and burned out, and then these trees will have a lot of room to run, and they'll start just shooting up over the next couple years. So I'm excited to see how it completely transforms this landscape into a longleaf pine savanna.
Normally we would light our backfire right up against the break.
Right.
I went in there just far enough to hopefully get a little bit of idea how it's going to behave on the other kinds of fire, your flanking and your head.
Right. So the wind's coming this way, and you can see it blow.
What it's going to do.
Right.
It's hit south and east in the 30 seconds it's been burning.
Man, it can move fast and then slow down for a little bit.
You got it. A lot of that's going to be fuel conditions, fuel types.
Right.
We're still a little early in the day, and our dispersion index is a little marginal, so the fire behavior is going to be a little suppressed from that.
And it's catching on that loblolly right there. Oh. Is he gonna start one down there as well?
No, he's talking on the phone.
Okay.
We're just watching this and seeing how it behaves. I like it.
What do you like about it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
like
like
now?
about it?
I like the dwell time on the loblolly, and I like the fact that it's acting. It's not having any issues moving, but it's also not acting flashy.
Okay. And flashy meaning?
For instance, on Friday when we were burning, we were dealing with a lot drier fuels because it was before that snow event.
Right.
And so it was a little more like when it's hitting these grass spots and blowing up like this. On this one, it was blowing up like this.
Getting too high, so the fire gets high.
Well, not just high, because we're not as worried about intensity on this tall stuff. We get up in some of the taller loblolly, intensity will help us. Intensity being
right.
What it does above ground level, severity being what's left behind. So what we're trying to, in a lot of these longleaf fires, we're trying for a young longleaf. We're trying for high intensity, low severity, flash it across the top.
Okay.
On this one, it's kind of right at that balance point because we're trying to have enough severity to kill a lot of these, which are going to be dependent on flame dwell time around the stem.
Right.
While not having so much that we have issues with the longleaf.
Gotcha.
But it's doing what we need to do as far as that goes.
So is that enough fire to kill these?
This one, yes.
Yeah.
This one, maybe.
Okay.
But we're early in the day. This is like right when the fire is going to start carrying, and as you can see, it's not even really wanting to back.
Right.
So, like if this was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd probably be pulling the plug on it because it ain't gonna burn. This is what we ran into. We came out here and tried it a couple of times last year.
Really?
And we ran into conditions where it thought about it, and then it never quite got to conditions where we could get it to go.
That's an example of the longleaf that got burned, and all the little seedling, the needles along the edge, but they protect the bud. On the inside, you can still see inside the middle. It's still green in there, and that's all that matters, is that bud survives the fires it passes through.
Sounds good. Be safe. So I'm just going to put down a little strip and sit and watch it for a second, make sure everything's still kosher, and I'll make the strips bigger and bigger as it continues to do this, which is not really a whole lot of anything.
Okay.
The shade's kind of hurting us on this side as far as we've got a little higher fuel moisture because we hadn't had the sun to burn it off and to preheat the fuels.
That's right.
So. It's really not wanting to go anywhere.
Starting the backfire along this backfire lane, and then that will hopefully move into the plot that way, and then they'll come back and light on the other side. I'm just here to watch, make sure it doesn't jump over the fire lane. Now with all this burned along the fire trail here, all the fuel, 10, 20 yards inside's burned pretty good. Then they can set another fire on the other side of the property and come this way, because that increases the safety over here because all this has been burned. Lit the head fire over here, and it kind of went in there, so you've got the wind coming from behind us now. You can sort of see it's pushing the fire into the property a little bit more, so this will go the opposite direction, or toward the backfire that we set earlier this morning, back on the back of the property, and that's pushing through there pretty good. Long leaves kind of left out there about by themselves now, peeking through. A few of them there. There's one, there's one, there's one. Here you can see the head fire burning pretty good back in here. So again, the wind is blowing down the hill, and this fire is taking off just down the hill. It'll go all the way back down in there. But I guess they call this a head fire. It's going back toward the back fire. After the fire, you can see everything's burned up, but these little long leaves hang in there pretty good, and that tree's gonna be fine. It looks burned up, and even this one, the needles all burned. They're singed, but down deep inside, that little candle is fine as long as you got a little bit of green inside and that candle's still white. I mean, that one will come back. We'll watch them. This one's a little bigger, so it was protected a little bit more. But all these little long leaves are gonna love this because guess what? There's nothing around it anymore. They got all this space and they're gonna get all this sunlight. And they're just going to shoot up. A lot of these loblolly trees. And this one just got burned up completely. This one got burned up completely. And even these, they're yellow. They're already turning yellow, so those will die. And then it'll leave this little tree with everything around it. It's almost like a apocalyptic landscape. After the fire, you can see this little long leaf. Everything's burned all around it. And it even got singed pretty good. You can see these needles are burned all up inside, and even the stem of the plant, the tree, is burned. But you come up in it, you still got a little bit of green up here. And if you look down in there, you can still see the bud, a little white bud down there and a little green where it was protecting it. So all these pine needles kept it protected, and in a year that little tree's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be actually more than fine. It'll be great because it'll just shoot up. Here you have a pretty good comparison of a longleaf seedling compared to a loblolly seedling. So this thing got just lit up, burnt completely, and so that is going to die. The longleaf will be fine. And then here's another loblolly seedling right next to it, and it got burned up. And so all this will be clear around this line of little longleafs, and then they'll have all the sunlight to themselves. A day after the fire, and you can see where the big head fire started up at the top of the hill there, and it just came down this gully and just burned everything back in there. Just ripped it up. So had a nice good burn down here in the middle of the property, which is good. And even have some in the little longleafs. You know, hopefully this little fella made it. There's another little fella there, he made it. Another one up at the top there, so I think you can see him poking out there. So I think we had a good burn. Here's one that probably didn't make it. It got singed pretty good in here, and the fire got pretty hot. There was a little bevy of some longleafs in here, not longleafs, but loblollies, and it got a little bit hot, and you can kind of see this thing got singed pretty good. I can't see the bud. So it doesn't look like the bud made it. So that's an example of one that probably just got cooked a little too much to make it, unfortunately.